It's now Togame's turn, but he's a bit distracted, recalling a rainy day with someone lying on the ground. Everyone is excited because one of the most anticipated fights is about to begin, with Yumila asking Togame to talk to him, reminding him that fighting is like speaking. Sakura feels something strange and doesn't know what it is, impatient. Sakura urges Togame to start already, but Togame tells him to take it easy, as rushing things sometimes leaves you wanting more. Today, he wants to enjoy the fight slowly. Both get into fighting positions, with a bit of tension quickly interrupted as Sakura throws a punch. Togame reacts faster, bringing him to the ground. Togame throws a seemingly precise punch, but Sakura manages to deflect it with a kick, getting back on his feet. Hiragi, having seen Sakura fight before, knows he's good. But Togame controls the Shirshir Torin and its cult of strength. Sakura tells Togame that for someone who wants to take it slow, he's moving very fast. Togame responds that if Sakura thinks this is fast, he'll have to get used to the speed. The two begin grappling, with Sakura dodging all of Togame's takedowns, giving no sign of being able to counterattack. Yumila comments that compared to the previous fights, Togame and Tamiyama are on a completely different level, as they lead the Shirshir Torin, and Sakura is experiencing this level firsthand. In what seemed like a sure takedown by Togame, Sakura manages to dodge and counter with a kick to Togame's back. But if we thought he had achieved something, we were wrong. Togame quickly gets up, grabs Sakura by the leg, and almost stomps him hard. Angry because Sakura called him pathetic that day in the tunnel. After a few dodges, Sakura gets back on his feet and tries to land a takedown, but Togame skillfully slams him face first into the ground, lifts him up, and tells him that he looks pathetic. Togame asserts that only the strong can afford to show off and criticize others, and asks if Sakura dares to do it because his group is strong, suggesting that alone he wouldn't say anything. Sakura, infuriated, throws a slow punch but quickly breaks free with rage. Admitting Togame is right, he acknowledges that only the strong have true freedom, delivering a combo of attacks while stating that without strength, you can't stay true to yourself. He finally lands a kick. Togame asks if that's how Sakura sees him, as he hates that kind of person the most. Sakura responds that despite everything, he has more reasons not to waste his time. Sakura continues his attacks until he manages to land a solid hit, saying that if he loses, everything he preaches is wrong, that his logic as a cult of strength is flawed. He follows up with a kick to Togame's face, but Togame is not someone who goes down easily. He tells Sakura not to get excited, then runs and kicks him in the stomach. The blow leaves Sakura almost out of breath. On the ground, Togame, standing over him, asks what he could possibly know about the Shirtori, explaining that everyone there aspires to rise high. The cult of strength is the promise of staying true to oneself. Unlike Windbreaker, which he says only plays at being superheroes, Togame steps on his head, asserting that their strength is different. Still on the ground, Sakura musters the strength to retort that Shirshir Torin should be called a club for bullies. Togame tells him to stop talking, but Sakura responds that all they do is beat up people lying on the ground and chase after high school kids. He refuses to lose to them. Togame then delivers what seems to be a decisive kick, shocking everyone watching. However, Togame intentionally misses, saying he didn't realize that's why they were there. Togame steps down to confront the guys from the other day, demanding they explain what they were doing there. When they say they were just having fun, Togame beats them up before they can finish speaking. Taking their Shirtori jackets, he returns to the ring, where Sakura is now weak but surprised by what he just witnessed. A flashback shows Togame surrounded by a group from the Shirtori, easily defeating them all. Reinforcements arrive, but Tamiyama steps in, asking why he doesn't join them, noting his strength. Tamiyama had also just joined and introduces Togame to the others, making him part of the Shirtori. Togame remembers feeling happy, as Tamiyama asked if he knew about the cult of strength. Togame replied that it was a vow to stay true to oneself, with Tamiyama adding that strength brings freedom. Others in Shirtori were amazed by the strength of Togame and Tamiyama, especially after they beat up a group called Zinc, who had been bothering one of their members. Tamiyama believed that the strongest person should be the freest. Togame reflects that at that time, Tamiyama embodied the cult of strength perfectly, shining like the sun and making him feel free alongside him. He believed the group would only get better with Tamiyama as captain. One day, Togame and Tamiyama are talking. He asks if the captain is supposed to be the strongest and freest, to which Togame agrees. However, Tomiyama says it's no longer fun and decides that the entire group must become as strong as him. Togame naively thinks they will train everyone to be equally strong, but when a boy runs in saying they were attacked by the Group S, Tomiyama attacks their own member, saying if they return without fighting back, they won't get stronger or be free, stripping him of his jacket. Togame is shocked, questioning why Tomiyama is saying these things. Believing it won't make them stronger, Tomiyama replies that he is now the strongest and the freest, and if Togame doesn't understand, he should leave. Togame reluctantly accepts, agreeing to enforce these rules for him. He decides to dirty his hands to keep Tomiyama's vision alive, believing the son should be loved by everyone, even if he has to bind them with the strength that brings freedom. Back in the present, Sakura realizes Togame isn't fighting seriously, as he's not dodging or attacking. Confused, Sakura asks what he wants, while Togame, feeling melancholic, silently wonders the same thing.